Here we have the Cadillac xt5. I got it in the garage here just so I can have access to tools. It is hot, but I got the swamp cooler and the fan going. Anyway, I think the wheel bearing on the back is out. This is not all-wheel drive. This is front-wheel drive only. I can find nothing on YouTube about the back bearing for the xt5. Front bearing, they're everywhere. All right, so here's our tire. You know, you check for the play. North-south, it does not budge at all. East-west, pushing on the tire, east-west, it's got lots of play. However, the passenger side has lots of play also. There's like a T-bone connector in there somewhere. I wonder if that has to do with it. But anyway, I don't like the way it sounds when it spins. So I'm going to have a look at the bearing. Okay, I had the wheel off and the rotor does not spin well. It's got some resistance, so I think it's this bearing. However, this thing has electronic brakes and you need to do the service mode to pull the piston back in using your steering wheel, your instrument cluster up here. And a guy shows you how to do that on YouTube. However, for my xt5, that did not work. There were no flashing lights. You could hear the piston go in, and it got locked in the in position, going back and forth. Had to put the wheel back on, put the car back on the ground, and then I could release the parking brake. I may have to gamble and do what the other guy did, take the wheel off and just ignore the emergency parking brake, hope nothing bad happens. Okay, so we have the wheel off. Upon further review, it appears the emergency brake service apparently is for all-wheel drive, because this is a two-wheel drive. As you can see, there's no axle back here, and it would not accept pushing in the button, screwed everything up like I talked about. Anyway, wheel is off, 14 millimeter to get the bracket off, and I didn't hang it up. I put it on a jack stand there. Then to get the bearing out, you're going to need 18 millimeter socket, which I do have, and using this cheater bar, they do come off pretty easy. Pretty sure it's the bearing. That does not sound good to me. So here's our new bearing. Be sure it does not have a hole for the axle. Now, if you have an all-wheel drive, you'll need a hole for the axle, but this is front-wheel drive only. Okay, so I've got everything reassembled. Here's the old one, and here's our new one. It's very quiet on the spin, kind of stiff, but quiet on the spin. Now I'll just put my brakes back on and hope the electronic brake is back to normal, and off we go. Okay, so the new bearing is on. The wheel is on there tight, not on the ground yet. There is still as much play east and west with your hands. Maybe that's normal. North to south, there's no play at all. Let's see, it's spinning. I think it spins better and longer now. Of course, it is resistant because it's brand new, but put the wheel on the ground, take it for a spin. Hopefully, this was a good solution for the rear wheel bearing of a non all-wheel drive xt5.